Pastor, why do you have to get political on us? You know, when we bring up the topic of race and how to deal with racism in our culture, that question, that objection often comes up. Why do you got to get political on me? Well, I'm a part of gospel-believing Orthodox Christianity in America, and with that, I happen to be pro-life. I hope you are too. If you're not, I'd love to talk to you about that. And that means that I believe life begins at the point of conception, that pre-born babies are humans too and deserve protection. Yeah, unborn lives matter. Now, we understand that, and we in America have often fought for policies, for laws. We've protested to try to get things changed. But for some reason, when it comes to race and that discussion in America today, we try to change the conversation and change the standards, right? Again, we start asking, why do you got to be so political? Well, let's think about that for a second. I've talked over and over the years that racism is not just a personal sin thing, it's a systemic sin thing, right? Our sinful hearts, as we come together as humans, we build Babel, we produce systems that are sinful. They reflect our hearts as sinful humans, and they also end up shaping our hearts, and we often don't realize it. And those systems are sinful and wrong. And as with abortion, the same with racism, we want to see those things changed. Now, let me be really clear here. The gospel at its heart, at its core, is that Jesus Christ came to live and die and be raised for us. And if we have faith in him, we can be united with the Father and we can have salvation. That's the gospel. But let me tell you, it's even more than that. Right? God isn't just about uniting us with him. He's about uniting all things. He's about uniting heaven and earth in him. What that means is that one day we await a new heavens and a new earth where Jesus the King is on the throne and everything is going to be made right. And what an amazing hope that is. But here and now, while we wait that not yet, and we try to bring people from the here and now through the gospel of Jesus toward that day where they can be under Jesus' reign forever, we also want to see that not yet be brought little by little into the today, right? That's what we pray. Let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We know that this world won't be perfect until that day. We know that structures will always be flawed and have sin until that day, but that doesn't mean that we don't strive for things now, that we don't stand up for the unborn, that we don't fight against racism in all forms and try to see it change. You've heard this passage before. Martin Luther King quoted it back in the Civil Rights Day, which is still ongoing, of course. But Amos chapter 5, verse 21, I despise your feasts. So he's talking to the people of God of the old covenant and is saying, hey, you're doing all these religious things, but I don't like them. I despise your feasts. I take no delight in your solemn assemblies. Even though you offer me your burnt offerings and grain offerings, I will not accept them. And the peace offerings of your fatted animals, I will not look upon them. Take away from me the noise of your songs. To the melody of your harps, I will not listen. But let justice roll down like the waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. Of course, first and foremost, the starting point is to see this justice, to see this reconciliation among the people of God. But we as the people of God, as we long for that day in the future, we want to see that future little by little, more and more now. And that's why we say, we're not getting political, we're talking gospel. Join with me as we pursue that, church, together.